So the homework is on page 97 in your book, exercise 6. And if you don't have your book, it's okay. I'm going to show the screen of some of the pages in the book, so you can just write your answers on a piece of paper. Mari, do you have your answers to exercise 6?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell us the answer to number 1 and 2?
For number 1, I put bacteria are very small. They are microscopic organisms
Good.
that consist of one cell.
Okay, that one is correct. And we have it up here on the screen on the right side. If you want to zoom in, there's a zoom button on the top left. But you are correct. So number 1, bacteria, organisms, and then cell. Okay, Mari, what about number 2?
2, bacteria are in the air, water, and soil, as well as in the bodies of all living creatures.
Yes, creatures. Good.
Creatures.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, Walter, can you do number 3 and 4?
Okay. Number 3, there are thousands of kinds of bacterium. Most of them are harmless to human being, but some cause diseases such as tuberculosis and pneumonia.
Pneumonia. Okay. And so you put thousands and then you put bacterium with the M.
Yes.
Okay, because we're talking about a type of something, we're going to keep it
Bacteria.
bacteria. You used the singular form, right?
Yes, I was thinking there are different type of one bacteria. And bacteria, I thought it was a group of bacteria. So
Okay, that's what you were thinking. Kinds of, but there's different types of bacteria. So like they all have different names. It's kind of like if I said there are many kinds of people that live in the United States, right? Kinds of people, or
okay.
we would use it with a plural form. So we need bacteria. And then did you say beings with the S?
No, without the S. So now I realize that it's going to be with S.
Right. Right, because they are harmless to human beings, all of us, not just one being.
One.
Yeah, so we need to make that one plural. Okay, so as I always say in my classes, mistakes are good because it gives us a chance to talk about it and everybody can learn. So those are great mistakes that you made, Walter. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, and Paula, did you have a chance to do the homework? Do you have the answers?
No, ma'am. I just raised her yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll help you catch up. Let's go ahead and go. I'll give the answers to. Oh, wait, Walter, you were going to do number 4, right?
Right.
Okay, go ahead, Walter. Do number 4.
Okay, viruses are also microscopic organisms. They live in the cell of other living things. By themselves, they cannot reproduce, but inside a living cell, they become active and can multiply hundreds of times. So
Okay.
viruses, organisms, cell, things, cell, times.
Okay, almost all of those are correct. But after
Almost.
organisms, we need to have a plural cells.
After organisms.
Because they live in different cells. They don't just live in one cell.
Oh, but inside living cells?
Right. They live in the cells of other living things.
Okay.
But the second one is supposed to be singular. Inside a living cell. So when we have a, it means one. So you got that one correct.
Okay.
Okay. So if you need to double check, just zoom in on your screen here to where I put the arrow, and you can check these. Okay. Okay. Number 5. The answers are viruses, diseases, humans. And number 6, virus, period, sentence. So number 6, everything is singular. Okay, good job. Let me know if you have questions, anybody. And we're going to go down to exercise 7. And this was kind of to see what you know, okay? We're going to talk about this today. So exercise 7, number 1, computer error, computer screen, and computer skills. And then number 2, airplane passenger, airplane pilot, airplane ticket. Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. What is happening with these words? Like airplane and passenger. Are these nouns? Are these adjectives? What's going on here? Does anybody know?
I think they are nouns, but one of them is acting as a adjective.
Yep.
I think both are nouns, but together one of them is adjective and another is a noun.
That's correct. Good job, guys. So airplane is normally, it's a noun, right? If I said, what part of speech is airplane? You would say, oh, that's a noun. Ticket is also a noun, but what happens is we can put those two together, airplane ticket, and the first word, airplane, is going to function as a noun. So let's talk about that for a minute, okay? When I say function, what's another way to say that? What does that mean if I say it functions as a noun?
Function. Function as a noun?
Yeah. What does that mean when I say it functions as a noun? I'm going to type it on the screen here so you can see what I mean. When you have two nouns together, like airplane and ticket,
Functional?
it's possible that the first noun, oops, I said function as a noun. I meant to say function as an adjective. That's what happens when I'm writing and talking at the same time. Thank you. Thank you for questioning me. What? No? Okay. Function as an adjective. So what does that mean? Anybody want to help me explain this?
uh, is going to describe another noun.
Yes. So what can happen is if I separate them, airplane and ticket, they're both nouns. But if I put them together, it depending on how you use it in the sentence, okay, you might have what we call an adjective as a noun. So I could put, do you have your airplane ticket? So in this sentence or in this question, airplane is describing the type of ticket. So I'm not talking about a concert ticket. I'm not talking about an expensive ticket. I'm talking about an airplane ticket. So if I ask the question, what kind of ticket?
Airplane ticket.
Right. If I ask a question with what kind of, with a noun, like what kind of ticket? Is it expensive ticket? Is it an old ticket? No, it's an airplane ticket. So airplane is an adjective. Every time you ask a question about what kind, the answer will be an adjective. So the answer is going to be the adjective. So think about that in other questions, like what kind of house do you have? Big house, small house, cozy house. So big, small, and cozy are all adjectives, right? They're describing a person, place, or thing. So class, that is the key to this, is understanding that a word can look like a noun, but it can be used or it can function, the purpose of it can be an adjective. Okay? Any questions about that?
No.
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 So adjectives describe people, places, and things. Okay, so let's do a little practice together. Look at page 98 if you have your book. And in the box, there's two sections. We just talked about the first one, right? When a noun is used as an adjective, it's always in the singular form. So if I say, do you have your airplane tickets? Do you have your airplane tickets? Should I say airplanes?
No.
Yeah, no, because it's always singular. Adjectives, I'll put ADJ, adjectives are always singular, okay? Airplane, even though the noun tickets is plural, I keep the adjective singular. And then the second point is when we have a number. Okay, when we have a number like 2-year, 5-year, and we want to describe a person, place, or thing, what are we going to do with the year? What are we going to do with that to make it an adjective?
Oh, can you say it again?
When we have like
Because I didn't hear it very well.
Yeah, maybe
okay.
we have to turn off our microphone.
Yeah, maybe there's some noise happening. Yeah, just mute your microphone until you're ready to answer the question. Yeah, there we go. So whenever we have a number like 5 years, 3 years, but we want to describe a person, place, or thing, what are we going to do? My question was, what are we going to do with the word year? Do I make it plural, or what do I do with that?
No, we should do it as singular.
Okay, good. So, for example, if I want to describe my son and I want to put the adjective before, I would say, I have a 12-year-old son. Okay, so what I did was I'm describing the noun son. So, son is the noun, and I'm using his age to describe him. I'm giving you more information. He's tall. I have a tall son. I have a smart son. I want to use his age to describe him. So I'm going to create this adjective that looks like a noun. 12-year-old son. So 12-year-old is an adjective. Okay. Let's do a practice together. Look at page 99, number 9. And if you don't have your book, I'm going to type this sentence here. So we have, my brother is, does everybody see page 99? We're looking at exercise 8, and it's number 9.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to type it here. Take a moment and just put what you think should go in the blank, and then we'll talk about it in just a moment. And Mari, do you have your book?
No, not yet.
Okay, no problem. I've got, I'm typing the sentence here for us. Okay, so the first one, number 9, says, my brother is blank. And we want to try to use, in the parentheses, you'll see right here at the end, 10 and years and old. So are we going to say 10-year-old or 10 years old? Let me ask Mari, what do you think?
I think it's 10 years old.
Okay, why? Why do you say that?
I don't know.
That is my favorite question, because a lot of students are like, yeah, I know the answer, and then it's like, why? Well, it sounds good, right? You just kind of know because you have a knowledge of English already. But part of grammar is I want to help you understand why, so that you can keep adding to your learning and you'll understand the structure. So here, we don't have a noun after year old. Okay. So remember in my example, I used the noun son, right? And son is a noun. So in this sentence, there's a period after old, so that's the end of the sentence. So I'm not creating an adjective here from the noun. I'm just using the regular form, 10 years. So look at the second example. I have notice the word brother is at the end, and I'm describing the brother. So I want to use the adjective form of 10 years. So Mari, what do we do in the second sentence?
I have a 10-year-old brother.
Yes, that's correct. Okay, so why? Because I'm describing the noun after it. So I'm creating the adjective form of 10-year-old. And you notice in your book that they say to put hyphen. Do you see the little line like this? This little line between 10 and year and old, that's called a hyphen. And what that does is it connects those three individual words like 10 and year and old. It connects them all to make it one adjective. So whenever we have a hyphen, it's because we're taking two words and we're putting them together as one word. So it's all functioning as one adjective. Okay, and remember we said adjectives are not plural. So even if I say brothers, I have three or I have two 10-year-old brothers. They're twins, right? Or they are triplets. So even if I have brothers, I'm not going to put an S on year because this whole word, 10-year-old, is an adjective and it's never plural. Okay. Let's see. Paula, do you have the answer for the second one? We're trying to use three with letters.
Sorry, Hannah, if I'm interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
But you're forgetting a word after the first blank. Before the period. Words.
Oh, did I on the second one?
Yes.
Wait.
Arm and dog are blank words.
Arm and dog are blank. Oh, that's me again. Thank you. That's me typing and talking. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah. Arm and dog are 3 letters.
Okay, good. Paula, do you want to try this one?
Yeah. Arm and dog are 3 letters.
Okay, so you think it's the S?
It's just that I don't understand that sentence. Arm and dog are 3 letters.
Okay,
Like
so
letters
arm,
is what?
the word arm has three letters, A-R-M, and the word dog has three letters, D-O-G.
Oh. Okay. Yes, it's 3 letters.
Okay, so we need the S. Why? Is letters going to be a noun functioning as a noun, or is it describing something?
It is describing the arm, how many letters we have in the arm word and dog.
Right. Right. So we're describing words. So we are creating an adjective with three letters. We need to make it an adjective. So what do we do if we're using a number in an adjective? You remember we did I have a 10-year-old brother. 10-year-old is the adjective. So in this one, we're trying to make an adjective again. So what do we need to do? Do we say three letters? Make it plural?
No, I think it's singular.
That's right.
3-letter words. Yes, I think it's singular because words it already have it's a plural word.
Okay, so even if word is singular or word is plural, that doesn't matter. What we're looking at is the word three-letter. Is it an adjective? Is it describing the words? Yes. So it's always going to be singular. Adjectives are always singular, so I cannot say three letters in the first blank.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
So again, it's kind of like I keep circling this because it's like my example at the top with the son, 12-year-old son, 10-year-old brother, 3-letter words. So I'm circling the nouns here, and that means that the adjective is coming before it, 3-letter. So not, we don't put an S on it.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do another example for you, Paula. Paula, do you have any kids?
No,
Okay, so that
I have
doesn't.
pets.
Do you, I'm trying to think of somebody, do you have sisters or brothers?
Both.
Okay, tell me about your sisters and how old they are. I want you to start with I have, and then
Okay.
tell me about your sisters.
I have 2 younger sisters.
Okay.
One is 23 and the other is 19-year old.
Okay, so one is 23 years old and one is 19 years old. Okay.
Okay.
Now I want you to say, I have a 23. How can I finish that?
Okay, I have a 23-year-old sister and a 19-year-old sister.
There you go. This is so hard. I know it seems like simple, but it's really hard when you've been doing it maybe the wrong way for years and years.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot, so don't feel bad at all. This is totally normal. It's difficult to change it in your mind, right? So I have a 23-year-old sister. So no S. Why? Because I'm putting a noun after 23-year-old. Okay? And then another way to say that, like you said, is my sister is 23 years old. That is also another way to say it. That's correct, okay?
Okay.
In that case, we do not have a noun after it. So 23 years is not an adjective. Okay? So
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. And Walter, can you do the last sentence where it says each word has?
Yes. Each word has 3 letters
Okay, good. And why are we putting an S this time on letters?
because I don't have a noun after the word 3 letters.
Right. So basically, to summarize, when we have two noun words that we want to put together, okay, like airplane ticket or years old brother, okay, when we want to put those together, the first one is the adjective. The second one is the noun. If we don't have the noun at the end, then we can, this first word will just be a noun. Like my sister is 23 years. In that case, years is a noun, okay? So I know it's kind of crazy, a lot of things to think about, but don't worry, I'll give you some homework to practice those. And what I want to do is practice using these, what we can also call them compound nouns when we're putting two nouns together. I want to practice doing some of these as a class. So on page 99, I'm going to take away this screen and I'm going to show you guys page 99, okay? And we're going to do exercise 9 together. So you guys are going to come up with the answers here. We'll just take turns. And Walter, we'll start with you because you took my class before you, and you also have your book here, so it might be easier for you to start us off. Let me zoom in a little bit. Can you guys see this page in the book that says exercise 9?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see, I'm trying to see if I can highlight it, but it's not letting me put any color on here. Okay, I'll just keep this screen here, right in the middle of the page. So it says, work in teams, think of common expressions with the noun plus another noun. The team that comes up with the most expressions wins. Well, we don't really need to have a team. We're doing this as a whole class. But for example, if I have the word flower, what are some common ways that we can use flower as an adjective? Because normally a flower is a noun, right? Like the beautiful flower, or I have flowers in my yard. That's a noun. But if we put another noun after flower, then flower becomes an adjective, like flower vase. In that case, flower is an adjective. Flower garden, flower shop. So if I say 2 flower vases, vases will have an S because it's the noun, but flower will not have an S because that's acting as an adjective. Okay, did everybody get what I just said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is anybody confused?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes. Okay, so let's do the first one together, and then you guys are going to take turns with some of the others. So let's do number 1, cotton. Cotton is that white material that comes from a plant that we use to make clothes, okay? So what word can we put after cotton where we will make cotton be the adjective? Anybody want to try?
Yeah.
Cotton field.
Cotton sweater.
Cotton field. Yeah, cotton sweater. Good. What else?
Cotton. I don't know.
Cotton
Cotton,
swab.
right, cotton swab or cotton ball. That people use that like to put on makeup or something like that. It's like a little circle. And then, yeah, the little stick one, the cotton swab. So when we're using it in that case, cotton will be the adjective. So I can say, can you give me 3 cotton balls? Okay. Again, I cannot say cotton because it's an adjective. Yes, Walter?
Can I say cotton needle?
Cotton needle.
No.
Well, I
I don't
guess
know.
you could, but I'm trying.
It's a large needle, so used to. I don't know.
You can say cotton thread, which would be like the string that goes through the needle.
Oh, okay.
But the needle itself is always like hard, like made of metal.
Cotton needle. Oh, yeah. I understand
But
now.
you can say cotton thread, Thread. That would be good. Cotton thread. Okay. So Walter, you're going to do number 2, and Paula, you're going to do 3, and then Mari will do number 4. And I want you guys to think of as many adjectives, like how can you make this word an adjective? That's your goal, okay? So I'll give you 1 minute to think about it, and then we'll share our answers. If you have a question, just let me know. We're just going to take a minute to think about it.
Grammar. Okay, let's.
Okay, I'm going to take this screen away. So we've got grammar, birthday, and chicken, and we're trying to make these words into adjectives. Okay, I'll give you 10 more seconds. Let's see how many words you can think of. Okay, time's up. Walter, we'll start with you. Number 2.
Okay, I don't know. It's all of them are correct. Grammar book,
Yes.
grammar class,
Yep.
grammar homework,
Yep.
grammar professor,
Yep.
grammar app,
Grammar app. Yeah.
and that's it.
Okay, so here's the test. All of those are good.
All right.
Here's a test. Here's a test for that was number 2, grammar. What are we going to put in the blanks, or the blank here, if we want to use grammar as an adjective?
I have 2 grammar books.
Good. We keep grammar as singular. Why? Because there's a
Noun.
noun. Yeah, there's a noun after it. That means grammar is going to be the adjective. Okay. Good job, Walter. Let's go to number 3, and I think it's Paula.
Yes. Birthday hat.
Yes.
Birthday party.
Yes.
Birthday cake.
Yep.
Birthday song.
Yes.
Birthday outfit.
Yep, that's good.
Birthday place.
Birthday place. Birthday place? What is the birthday place? Or birthday location?
Yeah.
Birthday. Yeah. Birthday party. Did you already say party too?
Yes.
Yeah, you said that one. Good. Okay. So let me do a question for you here. How many, and then what do we put in the blank, Paula? On the screen, what do we put in the blank if we want to use birthday as an adjective?
How many birthday parties
Yes.
have you been to this year?
Yes.
Yep. Birthday.
Yep, that's correct. I'm making another sentence to see.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's kind of a weird sentence, but okay. What about this sentence? We celebrate, and I have a list of things, and I want to use birthday in here.
Okay.
Things that we celebrate. What do you think we would put in the blank? Birthday or birthdays?
I think birthday. We celebrate birthday parties.
It's actually going to have an S on this one.
With an S?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trick question. I like to kind of be a little bit tricky sometimes because it helps us to learn more. Can anybody explain why I used the S on this one?
Because it's a noun in this case.
Yes, it's a noun. I am listing 3 nouns. I'm listing birthdays, parties, and weddings. So in this case, each of these is a noun. Birthdays is not acting as an adjective. It's not functioning as an adjective. Remember I said when you put 2 nouns together, the first one may be an adjective, but it depends on the whole sentence and how it's functioning. In this case, I'm listing 3 things. And you can see the comma between them. So I don't have adjectives here.
Okay. I was looking for an adjective and I was like, there's no adjective.
Right.
Yeah.
It does sound a little funny to say we celebrate parties, but I was trying to trick you because the first question had parties in it. So
Yeah.
that part's a little funny, but the point is these are different things that we, traditions we do or celebrate. So I'm listing them and I put each one in the plural form. Okay, good job, Paula. What
Thank you.
about Mari with chicken?
Chicken soup,
Yes.
chicken flavor, chicken food,
Yes.
chicken salad, chicken
Yeah.
boneless,
Chicken buns?
boneless.
Oh, bones?
Let me.
Like I put on the screen here, chicken bones?
Boneless.
Oh, boneless. Like the second one, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, all of yours were correct except the boneless one.
Why?
Because I know you've probably gone shopping and you've looked for chicken that's boneless. You're going to see on the package of the chicken, it will say boneless chicken because boneless is an adjective.
Okay.
So I'm going to cross this one out. We can't put the adjective second. Adjective has to be first. So we're going to say boneless and then chicken. And chicken will be the noun.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's do a challenge here. What about boneless chicken wings? This is making me hungry now. Boneless chicken wings. Mari, can you tell me which words here are adjectives and which words are nouns in boneless chicken wings?
I think wings is are a noun.
Yeah, wings is our plural noun.
Could be boneless and chicken adjectives.
Yes.
We can
So
put 2 adjectives together or more.
boneless. Let me think about this. You can boneless as long as they describe wings, boneless wings and chicken wings. Yes, you can. Yeah, chicken wings. I think that one's good. Yeah. So it's just like if I say, I'll show you 2 adjectives together. Smart, funny boy. Smart, funny boy. We have 2 adjectives before the noun. Smart is adjective, funny is adjective. So yeah, it is possible to have 2 adjectives before nouns. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Great job with these guys. Let's continue on. I want to talk about possessives next. Does anybody have questions before we go to the next topic?
I'm good.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at page 101. 101. So if you have a book, look at page 101. So possessive nouns. You guys have probably already seen apostrophes in sentences. Okay. So does anybody want to share with me, how do we make a possessive with an apostrophe? Apostrophe is like that little line before the S in girls' coat. So how do we use apostrophes to make a possessive word?
In
Anybody
some
want to start?
apostrophe plus S when it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, how do we do it? Like this is an example sentence. So where is the possessive word? If I say the boy's coat is on the chair.
Voice.
Yeah, that's the possessive word. So what we're doing is we're using a noun, like boy, and we use apostrophe S if we want to make it possessive. So now it becomes a possessive, which actually is technically an adjective. Because we're describing the coat. Like what kind of coat is it? It's the boy's coat. It's not the adult's coat. It's not the black coat. It's the boy's coat. So it's technically it's describing that the noun coat. Okay. So how many boys am I talking about?
Just one.
One boy. That's correct. Okay, what if I have two boys, and they each have a coat? So I have Tom and Jack, and they each have their own coat. How do I make that possessive?
Just add the apostrophe
Okay, where do I put the apostrophe?
after S.
Yeah, it goes, and this is going to be hard because it's so small, but the apostrophe goes after the S. So here's the rule for this. If the plural noun ends with S, then put the apostrophe after the S. That's the rule about making a possessive with a plural noun. Okay, let's do another challenge. These are going to get harder as we go on. What if I say the boss office? So the office belongs to the boss. I need to make a possessive. Right? I need to make a possessive with boss. So where do I put the apostrophe?
After the S.
Okay, after the S.
The second one.
But I thought if we put it after the S, then that means the boss is plural. So is that confusing people? Because I only have one boss. It's not plural. So why am I putting it after the S?
Apostrophe S.
It should be S and then apostrophe, like Walter said. But why?
I don't know.
No,
Maybe
okay.
it
If
already
you
has
look,
two S.
it already has an S. It's a singular noun that ends with S. Look back at page 101 and look where it says, it has like a little number 1 and 2. So Walter, you have your book. It says, note if a singular noun ends with S.
There are two possible forms.
Okay, so what do we do if a singular noun like boss ends with a S? What can we do?
We can add an apostrophe, an S, or only we can add an apostrophe, just an apostrophe after the S.
Good. So you can do it just after the S,
Yes.
like we did, or after the S plus another
S.
S. So you can add another S sometimes. So that might sound confusing, but so let me show you. You could say boss, the boss's office, or you can say boss's office. Now both of these are pronounced the same. The boss's office is next door. You pronounce them the same. Okay, what do you guys think about that? Does that look a little strange to you?
Yes. If I put an
Yes.
apostrophe in a singular noun, it's gonna sound like a plural. Like you said, the boss's office, but I just writing with an apostrophe after the S.
Okay. Yeah, so you're talking about pronunciation?
Yes. For example, in the sentence you wrote, you put the boss apostrophe. So I'm gonna pronounce it, the boss's office is next door. But so it sounds like a plural.
Yeah, it kind of does. It's really hard to distinguish the difference because we have just a S and we have to try to show it's possessive. So we cannot say the boss office, like just keep, we have to have some type of sound. So we say boss's office. And it can be confusing because look at my last example. Now I
So
want to say there's more than one boss.
yes, or more than one office.
Yeah, now office doesn't really matter if it's more than one, because all the bosses can share one office. So I could use office as singular. But let's pretend I have two bosses and each boss has their own office. How would I make this one plural?
The bosses' offices. I don't know.
No, because one of them are adjective.
Where do I put the apostrophe?
After the last S, the bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a bosses.
It's actually going to see it's the bosses. I would still say the bosses. The bosses. I would not say the bosses.
So it's the same that if the noun is singular, the bosses, offices, the boss's office.
Right. So for this one, guys, the pronunciation is going to be the same, but of
Okay.
course, as you can see, the spelling and the apostrophe place is different.
So
Okay.
we can know the difference in the noun.
Well, sometimes, but like I said, I can have two bosses,
Oh yes,
two
you're right.
bosses
The boss's
that,
office and the
right.
boss's office. One is
Okay.
plural and the other one is with apostrophe.
Yes, but it is possible to have two bosses that share one office together. And I would still have to say the boss's office.
The boss's office?
Yeah.
Okay, and the boss's office.
Yeah, it's really the same. Bosses is going to be the same. So how do you know? You're going to have to use other context clues, or you have to ask a question. You just have to listen. Like if I'm saying, hey, I've got the president and the vice president of the company, they share an office. So my boss's office is on the second floor. And it's going to be very rare, to be honest, that you'll hear that type of thing. But just so you know, I'm trying to show you like the foundation, like the rule, and so at least you'll know how to write it, right? So that's kind of it, guys. These are the tricky parts, and I wanted to point these out to you. So make sure you know these, especially when you're doing your test or your lab assignment. So if a plural noun ends with s, like bosses, right? Or boys, then you put the apostrophe after the s. If a singular noun ends with s, like boss, okay, then you have a choice. You can put apostrophe after the s, or apostrophe and then add another s. Me personally, I like to do just apostrophe after the s. That's what I do. Okay, so I'll give you guys some practice with that later. Any questions?
No.
Okay. I know you just need practice at this point, so I'll show you the pages where you're going to practice that. I want to talk about one more thing before we go today. I want to look at page 103. So again, I'm going to take you to the page. So ladies, you will have a visual of what we're doing. And you can take a picture of this or just come back and watch the video later. But I want to talk about using of. So this is on page 103. Remember I told you on Tuesday we were going to talk about of.
Yes.
For possession. Okay, so this is a lot. I'm not going to read all of this right now, but we're going to talk about a couple of things that are on this page. So the first thing I want you to look at is in this first box on the right side. It says apostrophe S is generally used to express possession, right? Like we were talking about my boss's office. Or the boys' coats. So we use that for living creatures, countries, organizations, okay? But we have this option of using of. Now I've got my Spanish speakers here today, so you guys are very familiar with using of to show possession. Do you have another way to show possession in Spanish, or is it only with of?
No, it's the only way.
Only.
So you guys would say for letter A, the house of my brother, the feathers of the bird, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. So in English, we have two ways. We've got that apostrophe to show it, and we can also use of, but guess what? You cannot use of just for every kind of possession, every and any. It's only used for specific situations. So that's what I wanted to point out. Look what it says right here, kind of to the right side of the box. It says of is often used to show possession for what? What kind of things?
No living Things.
Non-living. So make sure you note that. I'm going to go back to my screen here. Make sure you note it's for non-living things. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's give an example. Remember the boys' coats, right? Can we say the coats of the boys?
I think not,
Okay, why not?
because we're talking about a boy.
Uh-huh.
And boys are living. So, yeah, this one would be something we would not do because the possessor, which is the boys, they're the ones that own the coats, okay? That boys are living beings, they're human beings, they're living. So if it's a living being, then we do not want to use the of. So in that case, we want to use the apostrophe, boys' coats, okay? So what's an example of something that's non-living? Well, in your book, it says the cover of the book.
I have a question.
Yes.
For example, in the letter C,
Yeah.
Canada is a living thing?
Oh, well, no, it's a country.
Sorry, borders. I
Okay.
don't understand the example.
Okay, so I know what you're thinking. You're thinking living versus non-living.
Yeah.
Okay, look at the top. S is generally used for living creatures, countries, and organizations. So a country is not necessarily living, but it's one of the categories where we want to use the apostrophe. So apostrophe is used for many, like pretty much everything, right? Living things, non-living things. But if you want to use of, it has to be a non-living thing, and it's only used for certain things that are non-living. So, if you look a little further, it says, with some expressions, either form is acceptable. So if you have a non-living thing, like a book, pages of the book, okay, you can use the of, pages of the book, or you can use the apostrophe.
Pages, book.
So the pages of the book are torn,
Books.
or the book's pages are torn. Both of those are correct.
Books. Oh, where's the adjective?
Okay, so I'm putting a yes here, so you know for sure you can use both of these because book is a non-living thing, and notice what it says. Sometimes you can use both, and then sometimes one of the forms is more acceptable. So there's special forms that are best learned on a case-by-case basis, and that means you kind of just have to know how Americans usually use it. And I'll give you an example of that because that can be kind of confusing. Let's look at letter F. It's the start of the race. The start of the race, okay? So we have one thing to look at. It's non-living. It's not a country. It's not an organization, right? So let's ask a question. Can we use of to talk about a race? Yes. The start of the race, okay? Just like I said, the pages of the book. But what about, is it possible to use an apostrophe? Like I said, pages of the book, books, pages. Can I say start of the race and race's start?
Races start.
Now, let me make a sentence because it might sound strange. It might sound so funny. The race's start is on Oak Street. Is that okay to say that? What do you think?
I think yes, correct.
I wouldn't say it. To me, it sounds totally strange.
Oh,
And I can't really give you an answer as to why. It's just like it says in the book, there are some forms, sometimes two forms are acceptable, and sometimes it's just, one of them is more preferred. So in this case, I would want to say the start of the
of
race.
the race.
Or I would just say the start, or we're going to start. Actually, we would probably say it in another way, like we're starting on Oak Street. Like I could make it into a verb. But just so you guys know, that one is tricky, okay? So you kind of just have to learn them, how do other speakers use those. But for the most part, 90% of the time, guys, we're going to use apostrophe for possession. We don't just go around and say the seat or the jacket of my son, or this I'm trying to think of some the seat belt of my car. Normally we use the apostrophe. Okay, so quick quiz. Let's do a little test. Can we say manager of the company or company's manager?
Company's manager.
Yeah, company.
Manager of the company.
Company's manager.
The company's manager. So I have one vote for company's manager. What do you think, Walter?
I think we can use both.
The company's manager? I think it sounds good for companies. I would use manager of the company. And you know what else I would do? And this is going to be crazy, but I would use company as an adjective and just make it not possessive. I would use the company manager. The company manager retired last week. The manager of the company retired last week. The company's manager? I just think it sounds strange.
So is it for you? Sounds very strange. It's not very common.
Probably.
Yeah.
If you want to rely on your teacher's knowledge, yeah. I probably wouldn't use it with apostrophe S. But sometimes there's like this gray area where maybe it sounds strange, but it's still possible. Okay, and then they have a final note at the bottom about the look at the bottom. It says, I filled out the application form. We do not say, I filled out the applications form. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of the company manager. A noun, it says a noun is used as an adjective. It can indicate a type or a kind rather than a possession. So my example was there's a manager. What kind of manager? It's the company manager. It's a type or kind. It's not really a possession in my example. So that's one thing to think about too. We don't always need possessives for everything. We can use, like we were talking about, the adjective as a noun or the noun as an adjective, like application form, space, shuttle. We don't need to say the spaces shuttle or the spacious shuttle or the shuttle of the space. The shuttle of space. We don't always need to make it possessive. We can use those two nouns together, and the first one will be the adjective. So let's look at exercise 19. We're going to do just real quick, just a couple of practice ones, and then I'll give you your homework. Look at exercise 19, page 104. So, Mari, I want you to do number 1 on the screen. We're looking at exercise 19. And Paula, I want you to do number 2. And Walter, you can do number 3. So the question is, you have 2 options, A or B. Which one is the more common or the more correct way to say these words? Okay, so let's do number 1. And who did I call on? Is it Marty? I think I said number 1. Which one do you think is more common? The start of the movie or the movie's start?
I think number A, letter A.
Letter A, yes. So the start of the movie. And it's just well, it's a non-living thing. It's not a country, it's not an organization, and it's kind of just the more common expression for that one. So good, I agree with A. Paula, what about number 2?
I think it's the profits of this year.
The profits of this year's profits. Me personally, I would say A, this year's profits.
Okay.
I just think it's a little more common. The profits of this year. I think you could also say B though. So this is where it becomes like a gray area. Like in number 1, I would say definitely A. And number 2, I would say A is the best answer, but I think B is possible. So again, it's kind of just how do people normally use it. This year's profits. Okay, let's try Walter. What do you think about 3?
A.
Yes. In this case, it has to be A. We're talking about a person, the woman's purse. We do not say the person of the woman.
What is purse?
A purse is like you would say like bolsa. It's like the
Okay.
small bag that women carry.
Una cartera.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, that's a new word. Is that specific to Argentina?
No, no, no.
Oh, really?
Yes.
We say cartera in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Oh, I've never heard it used like that. What do you say in Mexico? Mari?
Bolsa?
Oh, you say bolsa. You see, that's the Spanish that I learned.
Yes.
Mexican
For us,
Spanish.
bolsa is not a purse.
For me,
It's a bag.
yeah, a plastic bag from the grocery store.
Yes. That is a.
Oh, you see? It's like the word torta too, right? It has different meanings. Torta.
Yeah.
Interesting. I love languages. This is great. Okay, we are out of time for today, class. So I am recording this. I'm showing you where your homework is. Okay, so I'm going to go back and show you all these pages. Your homework is exercise, you can write this down, exercise 10, 11, 15, 19, and 20. I know it seems like a lot, but they should be short. 10, I'll say it again, exercises 10, 11, 15, 19, and 20.
And what pages are those?
It's on page 99 to 104.
Okay.
Okay, so, but here's the trick. Exercise 10 is only listening, so you have to have your My English Lab set up in order to do that one. So, if you don't have a My English Lab yet, don't worry about exercise 10. Exercise 11 is right here on the screen, and it's page 101. Exercise 15 is practicing the possessives using apostrophes. Okay, that's 15. And then 19 and 20, we just looked at 19 a moment ago. You're going to practice using the of. So here's 19 and 20. So the reason I'm showing you here is if you need to do your homework and you don't have your book, you can come back to this video and watch it and answer on paper. Okay? Good job today, guys. Any questions before we go?
No.
Is this for Tuesday? Next Tuesday?
Yeah, this is for next Tuesday.
Okay.
And don't, yeah, and Walter, let me give you a test. What else is due? What else do you need to be working on?
Diagnostic test.
Yes.
Due tomorrow.
Diagnostic test. That's in My English Lab. And there's one more thing that's also due.
Discussion board.
Yeah.
Discussion what?
Board.
Oh yeah, that's for tomorrow.
Discussion what?
Discussion board in Blackboard. Okay.
Blackboard.
So this is a little bit of testing, some writing, and then you guys in Blackboard, you'll write some of your own sentences. I want to check and see how you are with your writing, okay?
So the diagnostic test and the discussion board has to be done until tomorrow?
The diagnostic test, I don't really need that until next Tuesday, so you can do that. The discussion board, yes, I would like for you to finish by tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. Where can I find the diagnostic test?
That's in My English Lab.
Okay.